Stock. Oh my God, you didn't even get 30 seconds of this song before you blow it. Oh boy. Just follow me, Mr. Stock.
Take it away, Allan. Oh, yes.
You put too much pressure on me, Mr. Stock. I couldn't handle it.
When I say take it away, away.
I don't feel like taking it away today. I can't take it away today. But we can get some nice pictures of it. Who is that, Mr. Stock? You picked these pictures out.
That's Bob
Oh,
Dylan.
they're Bob Dylan. Yeah, I recognize that guy. Your favorite, isn't he your favorite folk singer, Mr. Stock? Let's face it, if you were in jail and you're being raped in jail, you just have to close your eyes and pretend it was Bob Dylan now, wouldn't you? Social, I recognize him. Dave Van Ronk there, right? And once again, it is my pleasure to introduce South Florida's Mr. Folk, Michael Stock.
Thank you, and welcome to New Traditions. This is a cable TV program where we are produced here live in Dade County. Actually, we're live on tape, but with a half-hour show, we present personalities who live in South Florida who have talent, and we call it New Traditions because we like to have something traditional as far as music goes or crafts go, and then we ask guests to perform something new, kind of a new tradition. We stay on the forefront, the cutting edge of entertainment and music here in South Florida. My co-host, Mr. Edgar Allan Poe IV. Next on the show.
Next on the show?
No, I try not to spend too much time on my co-host. He doesn't really understand his role here yet. He's leader of the New Traditions Orchestra, and he can never take away. I say, take it away, and he falters. It's like, it's hard to keep it going.
We're trying to get our guests to play along, and they refuse. They flat out refuse.
It's because you look so funny playing that.
They were going to play along. They were starting to play along, and then they asked if you wanted to borrow a tuning fork. Yes, you want to borrow the tuner? Isn't that?
No, we wanted to know if Mr. Stock wanted to come up. We wanted to know if Mr. Stock would be willing to plug into Frank's guitar tuner, which also probably would work for banjo.
Probably, but that would sort of ruin your whole style.
But are you sure we're in the right day? Because the title of the show said folk music and frivolity.
Yeah.
And although there is some
the
folk music
part.
That's our underground
in our
title.
music, I would say that we're not frivolous people.
Oh. Oh.
Well, we still have a half hour to really see.
Probably this show is running a little late. I think our next guest is waiting in the wings.
I think we should get going. Let's introduce our guest. That's a good way to start.
Oh, okay.
Can we introduce our guest? Who's running the show, Mr. Poe?
Well, we have a very frivolous guest coming up next. It might be more.
Well, next week is Dave Barry, but let's talk about the guest we have here in the studio. Is Frank Carmelitano. I knew I was going to get there. Frank Carmelitano.
That's it. Yeah.
Sorry, Frank. And Frank is obviously playing a guitar, and also Mike Berner.
No, that's my nephew. I get confused with him quite often. He's in New York now. He's 6 years old, and he's a great guy, but I am Marc Berner.
Oh, well, welcome to the show. And maybe someday we'll get Mike on, too. Who knows?
I hope so.
And together, are you a band? You perform together?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know the details. Do you have a name for your band, or is it just Frank and Mark?
Yeah, we just go under our own names. And,
we like to use our last names whenever possible, whenever people can remember them.
Okay, well, so let's not talk about...
Carmelitano and Levine, huh?
No, it's... I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk to them in a moment. We have other business to take care of, namely our T-shirt segment here on New Traditions. Every week we show you T-shirts that we're wearing, T-shirts that hopefully represent some community organization here in South Florida, whether it be your music group, your crafts group, your arts group, your movie group, or some sort of nonprofit show, and also so we can get some free T-shirts in the studio to wear. My shirt today is from the the South Florida Folk Club. And this is an organization that currently meets weekly at Our Place Natural Foods Eatery. Alan, what is your shirt
I've had that
say?
one before.
This is a repeat. Nobody sent in T-shirts, you know? This is really...
I have not had any repeats. I got plenty of shirts in the world.
What's your shirt say?
Well, this is the Sydney Opera House T-shirt. I guess it's an official Sydney Opera House T-shirt, and I brought this along because our guests, he's talking about traditional. They're saying they're not... Here, can you see Sydney Opera House? There's a koala bear there.
I can't see it. This thing's in the way.
Oh, okay. So, anyway, as you can see, our guest has a classical, sort of like a semi-classical guitar there. Is that right? It's a semi-classical? And,
Yeah, it's a classical electric.
classical
they call it.
electric, yeah.
It's got pickups in it.
I'll bet both of you gentlemen probably have had classical training, haven't you? Hmm?
Yeah, I would say so.
See, I know. I can spot these things a mile away. So I thought, you know, operas, classical music, it all kind of fits in together.
Has nothing to do with South Florida, though.
No.
Okay, well,
Those are your t-shirts.
Oh, mine does. I
That's
got
why you've
one
run
on.
out.
well, I had one out.
Yeah, Frank has one.
He's got
How's
one.
that?
Okay, let's
That
go
right?
back to Frank's shirt
Classical. That's
here.
how I knew he's... Oh, you
Yeah,
gotta move the guitar.
You gotta move the guitar there.
Yep.
Something he's not
There you go. How's that?
experienced
You have
at.
to strangle yourself. Oh, it
Miami
says the
City-
Miami
Miami
City
City
Ballet.
Miami City Ballet?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's, so you must be a classical person.
Yeah.
He plays with the Miami City Ballet.
From time
Oh,
to
now
time.
we're getting somewhere. Interesting.
Wow.
Are you able to play while they're dancing, or do you have to watch while they dance, or how's that work?
No, the conductor watches while they're dancing, and we're all facing the other direction. He just conducts us according to them.
So have you ever seen the Miami Ballet perform?
Not when I was playing with them, only when I wasn't.
Well, who'd play for them when you weren't playing for them?
The rest of the orchestra, I would have.
You took like the day off so you could see.
Oh yeah, you know.
Got some coffee.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get too... That's interesting, and I don't want to cut you off, but we haven't finished our T-shirt segment.
Oh, yes, we have.
No, we have to tell people to send it in. Send in T-shirts. Nobody's been
Give
sending
it up,
me...
Mr. Stock. Nobody's sending it
I have a
in.
make up your own.
Okay, but yeah, really, I want to wear your T-shirt. Send it in to, oh, good, there's the address. And I don't think anybody's been sending in the past because I've always neglected to tell you that I need a large. So if you send in a large T-shirt, that'll make the difference. Okay, so...
So let's get back to important matters. Have you gotten to know any of these ballet dancers? You know, the...
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Oh, really?
Gosh.
I used to live below Mary. Remember?
Mary?
Or Sally. Sally?
Sally
We
Higgle.
were never that close. But Sally.
Hegel, yeah.
You know Sally?
Sally Hegel, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
there
she's
you
excellent.
Have you dated any of them, or?
No, I haven't.
Pretty.
This is.
But you probably have a few phone numbers, huh?
Yeah, I've got a few phone numbers. This is
That's what Mr. Stock really wants to know.
Well,
He doesn't really care if
interesting.
you've dated him. He just...
So,
How's it supposed to be like a dialogue kind of thing? You make us feel at home, and you ask us about our career. Something, you know, it's early. We both were working late last night. You know, it's
Vetch
we gotta work later. You know.
all right, Mark. Well, since
what
you
would
asked,
like to talk about?
how is your career going? Have you ever had a write-up in New Times?
A write-up in the New Times, I'm sorry to say, as of yet, no. If Greg Baker is listening to the show, Greg, we really would like to get you over to Doc Dammers, perhaps, or the Tavern in the Grove, maybe Key Largo Sheridan Resort, the Village Inn on Sunday nights.
Have you always been such a name dropper, or is it, or
Well,
place dropper?
I guess since my mom has been very active in PR through the years,
Oh, good.
I naturally...
Now, are
picked
these
it up.
gigs steady? I mean, we're a tape show, and we're not really sure when we're going to be aired, but are they steady? Have you been there for a long
I think
time?
it's to be there next month, is what he's...
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, in all those places.
Yeah.
So we-
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're at Doc Dammers at the Colonnade Hotel. And Tuesday and Wednesday, Frank works at the Tavern in the Grove.
Is that a solo thing?
Works with a bass
No.
player there.
Yeah, I work with a bass player, and then Mark usually comes in and...
Well, this show's kind of dragging now. I don't know about
Why did you mention the New Times, Mr. Stock?
Well, because...
No, we're right in the middle of letting the audience know where we play.
Sorry.
Now, is there anything
What?
else? Are you finished?
No, we work on Saturday and Sunday afternoons at the Key Largo Sheraton.
Well, that's you do a lot of
did
traveling,
mention that.
apparently.
So we have a pretty busy day.
All right, so I guess that's a great lead-in for hearing what you sound like.
Let's hear a
Yeah,
song. Sure.
All right, we'll give you the 9:30 version.
Good night.
we're taping the show at 9:30 in the morning, so...
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What do you think?
And I heard you warm
Oh, by the way, guys, we like to sometimes join in with the songs. As you know, we do play banjo. If there's any part you'd like us to join
Then
in.
you definitely... No, I didn't know about it either. I think then you definitely should use the guitar tuner if we're going to do this.
Oh, so...
Picky.
All right, this is a song. It's dedicated to the United States deficit. And it's called House of Cards. My Uncle Sammy had a sweetheart. finest looking woman in the whole neighborhood. And he would shower her with good things, for all the comforts money could buy, there weren't any too good. He had a visa to the fast lane, credit card he took up his sleeve, a poker place smile and one foot on board the American Express bound for Greece. And so he dipped into his savings, kept dipping deeper till the well was bone dry. And when he finished with the shavings, at the bottom of the barrel he still knew he could always get by. He had a visa to the fast lane, credit card he tucked up his sleeve, a poker place smile and one foot on board the American Express bound for Greece. House of cards, how long can you build on a wing of prayer? House of cards, well, just don't sneeze and pray a breeze don't come near. Couldn't bear adjusting his standards, had to keep on living in style. So he put a second mortgage on the family farm and bought himself some time for a while. He had a visa to the fast lane, credit card he tucked up his sleeve, a poker place smile and one foot on board the American Express bound for Greece. House of cards, how long can you build on a wing of prayer? House of cards, well, just don't sneeze and pray a breeze don't come near. House of cards, and don't know when the wind will blow.
Yeah, that was great. Good stuff. How much better do you guys sound at 9:30 at night?
A little better, I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, a little bit.
A little better?
Well, I should let you know and the audience know that I usually perform this on saxophone. And this really is the first time I've ever played the tune.
Yeah, it sounded
on flute.
great.
Yeah, it sounded nice. I
Yeah,
like
it
it.
started some of that
Yeah,
raps on
different.
Roland Kirk, and
Oh, yeah?
buttering kind of thing.
Oh, thank you.
It was really great stuff.
That's a great compliment.
And I've heard this song before. In fact, I don't know. Did you play this because I requested it when I saw you guys? Remember I said I
over
really
at,
like this
Apple
particular
City.
song?
Actually, I didn't
Yeah.
really
You mean at the
remember
Pack?
that, but-
You didn't remember it.
At that Pack concert over
Neither
there?
did I, actually.
but
Yeah, but this
Maybe you even had a chance to come up and talk to us at that thing, because...
Oh, I know,
We're
it's
mobbed.
mobbed.
Well, let's get back to more important things than Alan's personal life here. Do you have any recordings?
We've got some tapes and stuff. Right now we're getting ready to go into the studio and do a real good quality tape that we're going to probably be selling at the gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really excited about that.
How many instruments do you play? I noticed the flutes and the sax. Is that
Yeah, I just added the alto flute to my collection, and I play soprano. I play soprano, alto, tenor. I play baritone. I don't have a baritone right now, but I'm working on that. And I just started on oboe, which I should be incorporating
My gosh.
sometime pretty soon, as soon as I get a hold of
There's
it.
never enough oboe players in town.
Piccolo I play also.
Frank, do you play anything else but guitar?
Well, I compose on piano, but basically just guitar. I play both an electric, you know, a 335, which is a semi-acoustic guitar. And
How did you guys meet?
We met at the Peacock Cafe in '86 when Frank was working there. And I lived in the Grove, and I just finished working with a band called Watchdog for years, and I decided to kind of move off and do my own thing.
Yeah,
Was
Mark would
Watchdog-
come and sit in.
Was Watchdog I don't know, was that a rock and roll band?
It was like a rock reggae band. I think Allan remembers that
Oh,
band.
yeah, absolutely. Sure.
So
All
was
you
that-
Watchdog fans out there?
So you're no longer with Watchdog?
No.
Whatever happened to Watchdog?
Well, it kind of went different ways. Everybody's seems to be doing real well on their own, and so I met up with Frank at the Peacock, and I started to sit in with him, and then we started to play together, and we've been working together pretty steadily for about the last 3 years.
Is it mostly original material?
Yeah, it's about 50-50 right
Yeah,
now.
we mix it up. You know, when you're playing in town, it's kind of hard to just, this is a pretty hard town just to do original material solely, but so we mix it up. We do half originals and half tunes, which we enjoy, that people can recognize.
So you guys are pretty busy. You're busy 5 nights a week, is it? Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 5-6 days a week usually. We've been very fortunate. You know, we've got quite a bit of work. People the city seems to support us pretty much.
what do you
right
mean?
now.
How do they support you?
Well, in terms of they come out to see us.
Well, I thought you meant the.
You know,
They throw money on the stage.
I see.
you know,
Bills.
club owners and restaurant people employ us because we get good feedback from the people.
When you said
Yeah.
the city isn't supportive, I thought you meant like the city government.
No,
is
no, I just
supportive.
meant the public, really.
Okay, the government's not that supportive of you?
We would be
No.
willing to accept a grant, though.
Yes, not yet. We wouldn't preclude any possibility in the future, but they have.
All right, so you're going to the studio to record some material.
Yep.
Is it just you two in the studio, or do you have people with you?
Well, we'll probably use Randy Ward on bass,
Mhm.
who's a better friend of Frank's. He's a friend of mine also. He's a fine bass player who's been working with Little Nicky and the Slicks in Europe, and we're hoping to get Bobby Thomas on percussion.
Yeah, Bobby Thomas Jr., percussionist.
There you go, dropping those names. So I did ask you for it.
I hope these questions are more to your liking.
Yeah,
Mark.
I
This
I
is
like the
sort of what
segment
you
of the
had
show.
in mind.
Exactly. I'm enjoying this part of the show.
Yeah,
Oh, well, so since we're at...
yeah, okay, now that we've fulfilled that, let's harass
Well,
them
let's-
some more. Shall we, Mr. Stone?
Well, he's the guy who likes to lower the standards of this TV
I do.
show.
I
I try
really
to
do,
keep the
yes.
standards up. But I'll tell you
Well,
what.
we're really happy that we're working, especially during the summer months.
Yeah, it's very
And
fortunate.
So how does that? Do people come up to ask you to play, or do you go out and solicit yourself? Or
No,
Yeah, we have to bang on the doors,
we
pretty much.
bang very hard on the doors out there trying to get work, and it's not always real easy, but persistence.
Does
for
that
us.
ever get in the way of the music?
No, not really. It's all part of the whole process, you know.
Well, let's hear another song then.
All right.
Okay.
You want to do Jessica?
Sure.
All right. This is a tune that Frank wrote called Jessica, and it's got a very good message.
Yeah, it's interesting. What we were just talking about is kind of pertinent to the song. We were performing in a local restaurant outside, and at the time we really needed the money, and it was an outdoor job, and it was raining a lot. It was during the summer a couple of years ago, and one night we were rained out, and this is when the song was written. So it has to do with letting go of expectations. knows what knowing's about. Smelling a rose, breathing in, breathing out. Seeing how simple, seeing the world can stay here. While grown-ups sit wringing their hands, each time life doesn't follow their plans. And the weather not heed their demands. They tighten their grip and then things start to slip. But Jessica's hip to the gist of what nature's saying. Jessica lives either side of the wind, a bubble of light with a mischievous grin, laughing at our refusal to understand. And so we go through life seeking a mate to soothe our inadequate state. When it doesn't add up on the slate, we tighten our grip and then things start to slip. But Jessica's hip to the gist what true love is saying. You've got to surrender that desire to bend and the drive to suspend. 'Cause as you go and you grab and you try to possess, you end up with less of your heart. You've got to surrender that desire to bend and the drive to suspend. 'Cause as you go and you grab and you try to possess, you end up with less of your heart. Got to surrender that desire to bend and the drive to suspend. 'Cause as you go and you grab and you try to possess, you end up with less of your heart and the memory.
That's beautiful. Frank Carmelitano.
Carmelitano.
Carmelitano. I'm sorry.
Frank Carmelito and Mark Levine. Remember those names, folks.
And Marc Berner.
Well, that's for us.
Let's say someone in the audience just loves your music, wants to get a hold of your tape. Can they contact me and then...
Just keep in touch with us, and we'll keep you posted as to the
Great.
developments once we...
Check the New Times, but look hard. I check every week when I go to the tavern on Tuesday, and I look.
Well, who does your...
You know, you have to really
You gotta,
be a
you
big
gotta do your own.
celebrity,
If you want,
right?
if you want to get in there, you gotta just do it yourself.
Well, I think this is a
do you
turning
do it
around for
yourself?
you guys, because appearing on the TV show is
gonna be
a
our
publicity
turn.
coup
There you
right
go.
there.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps Greg Baker watches this show.
When Frank told me about the show, I rescheduled everything, and I just
I
made
know
it a
you had
point
a
to
lot
be
to
here.
do at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see the publicity will start rolling in now.
All right.
Okay.
No, it's
Absolutely.
nice to be here, really.
Well, thanks
Thanks a
for,
lot.
Thanks for sharing your music with us. In fact, we only have a few minutes left in the show. Let me tell everybody to, well, I want to tell everyone to tune in again. Mondays at 2:30 and Tuesdays at 10:30 in the morning, and then Thursdays evening at 10 o'clock at night is when New Traditions is on the air on your cable station. And we only have a few minutes left. Any closing announcements
Well,
you want
just
to
a little
say?
disappointed here. I know Mark here is an aspiring comedian, so I really thought that he would
gee.
thrive on the frivolity part on the show. And what does he do? He complains, and when you start
But you
asking
see,
your
I would like to say a special thank you to Mitch Kopp over at Music Tech for his patience and help with my instruments.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, we're talking.
I know that's not
Gotta
funny.
get back to the funny part of the show.
Well, there's only a few minutes left in the show.
His whole world.
Well, I
His
want to
photos and
tell you,
everything.
well, it's a pleasure to be here. You're very far rock and you found blue.
I know I get
But,
started.
I tell you what, we only have
It amazed me that you go into your usual bland interview and his whole world lights up. It's just so, it was the best part of the show for you, wasn't it? You started asking you these serious questions about the
Mr.
usual
Poe.
questions you
Well,
expect
you know,
to hear on these kind
I
of
figured,
shows.
yeah, we do the interview thing. And
We have our choice now. It's a bad time for the closing credits.
Closing credits.
We could either talk and let Allan kind of just
Oh,
keep
no,
on.
let's hear some music, but yeah, sure.
You want to hear some music?
I thought you were going to say something about the New Times article.
No, we could save that
you
for
bring it
another
up. You
show.
brought up New Times about 6 times.
And
And I know you're itching to talk about it, Mr. Stark. So I think
Well,
you
in
might
all
as well.
fairness, I just want to mention the Miami Herald, and let's go on. How about play some music? Let's just hear some music and
See
we'll
if
go
we can
from
provide
there.
something for the-
all right.
All right. Speaking of Miami Herald.
Alto flute. Yeah, I'm supposed to be an alto flute player.
Dave Barry next week.
Very next week. Okay, great.
All right, I'll play some alto flute here.
All right.